Good day. This is Dr. Brown. This is a short tutorial or lab explanation, depending on what class it is, for how to use NETLAB. NETLAB is the tool that we use for a lot of our classes here at Coastline for lab assignments. We have a virtualized environment in there. And depending on what class it is, you could be learning ethical hacking, server administration, digital forensics, etc. So a couple of things. Let me go ahead and share my screen. At the beginning of the term, you'll get an email from your instructor, or this may come through Canvas. It will have brief little greetings. It will tell you the URL for the course, your username and password. Now, unfortunately, we do not have like a single encompassing system where your username is used over and over and over. It will be a different username for every class for every semester. So if you have, say, 3 cyber or CST classes, you could have 3 separate NETLAB accounts. Yes, I know that is not optimum. I realize that. It's the system we have. So a couple of things. Pay particular attention to the URL. If you've cached this URL from a previous term, a previous semester, your browser may think that, I'm going to this site, and it'll autofill. And even though you use the credentials that you're given, it won't log you in because it's at the wrong URL, right? So be very, very, very wary and very careful of that. So what you might want to do is, if you're having problems, you can't log in, whatever, try an incognito or a private browser first that has no cookies, nothing cached to it at all with that URL, and see if that works. It might be your browser that's giving you problems. But when you go to the URL, all right, you'll just simply put in your username and your password. And oh, by the way, that is not my password. That is just something I threw in there for the example. I'm not that dumb. I am a cybersecurity instructor after all. So you'll go ahead and log in. So for some of my classes where I have this as a lab in the very beginning of the term, all you'll have to do is show me that you are logged in, show me that it is your username up here, take a screen capture with whatever, screen capturing tool. I use snipping tool. Just get the URL, your username, and that you're logged in. Put that into your lab manual, and that's pretty much an easy 20 points there for those labs. But quick little tour here. So this is not, maybe you won't have all of these things up here. If you go to home, you'll be working with a scheduling tool for the most part. You will, schedule a lab for myself, and this is how you get into your labs. Now, you'll probably only have one course up here that you'll be using. So say we're in the Server Plus class. You'll go into it and you'll pick whatever lab that you're going into. Let's say we're going to do, here we go, performance monitoring. All right. There are 4 different pods that you have access to. Now, these 4 pods are utilized by all the students in your class. All right. So if there's something like 30 students in your class, there's only 4 pods. You're only allotted 90 minutes at a time. Yes, you can extend it for like 30 minutes to get up to 2 hours to work on the lab. But be advised that a lot of times, if you go in here to do the lab immediately, you may not have access. So it's a good idea to schedule ahead of time when you know you're going to have a 2-hour block to do your lab. So once you pick a time, I'm just going to go ahead and pick here immediately. It'll say, okay, there's your time, there's your date, click submit, and you're scheduled. Then you come back at the time that you're scheduled, right? And then you can enter the lab. Just click on that lab. Oops. All right. So you just, once that is all set up, maybe I didn't do that. Oh, I have 1 minute to wait here. Oops. So, oh, there it goes. It just popped up. So now I can hit enter lab, and then that'll take me into the lab and I can do my work. Now, it should be that you have a topology up here for some classes. For some classes, like the Server Plus class, you will not have a topology, but the topology is in the lab manual. As you can see right there, simple topology. All right, it's only 3 servers for my Server Plus class, or my contemporary operating system class, I should say. All right, it should be the same manual that you have in the classroom in Canvas. Now, if it's different, always go with what is in Canvas. Okay, if you have a second tab, it's a good idea to go and bring that manual up from Canvas and work on the lab there. All right, so that's it for NetLab. So just need that screenshot if you're doing this as an assignment, and upload that to your Canvas assignment, and you're done. Easy 20 points, right? Okay, that's it for the day. I will talk to you all later. This is Dr. Brown signing off.